Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video wherein I will share my experience in how I cleared my AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam and what challenges I faced, right? And what are my learnings from the same exam. And this is a part of a journey where I have started my journey for a cloud architect role, and this video is a small part of that journey. Let's get started. So to start with my journey in IT, I engaged in this IT world for over 9 years, wherein I started my career as a web methods support engineer, right, and progressed into a developer role. So my experience lies multiple domains, be it retail, insurance, and manufacturing. And now I am actively planning to transition into an architect role with a focus on cloud computing. I believe cloud computing is the next best thing for my career growth. And obviously, it varies from person to person. But now that I have been engaged with this IT industry for over 9 years, I think it's the right time for me to look for some architect roles, right? So below you will see a brief journey of my IT career, wherein I started my journey as a web method support engineer, moved to a developer role, and then promoted to a senior development role. And my wish is to transition into architect roles. And on that path, this is the first step wherein I have passed my AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam on 31st of December itself. So let's see. So why I chose AWS Cloud Practitioner to start with? So there are many reasons why AWS is leading when it comes to cloud, out of which I could find the major factor is the market dominance, right? AWS is the leading cloud computing platform with a massive market share, right? It has its comprehensive list of services. It provides a vast range of services, including compute services, storage services, networking, databases, analytics, AI, and ML, right? And it helps architects to design highly customized and scalable solutions, right? So, if someone wants to, let's say, dive into this architect world, I could see no other platform than AWS because it also has a great career progression. It provides a clear career progression path, and there is a very structured learning ecosystem as well, wherein you can find extensive documentation, training materials, tutorials, and hands-on labs. So below you would see one path which I have kind of decided for myself, wherein the four set of certificates I have outlined so that I will try to achieve this in sequential manner. Let's say the cloud practitioner being the foundational one. Then I will proceed to solution architects associate certification, and then solution architects professional certification, and then finally security specialty, right? A lot of learning to be done. Now, my preparation strategy. When it comes to preparing for exams like AWS, right, I limited my study resources to Coursera and AWS website primarily. Out of which in Coursera, there were a couple of courses which I enrolled into, which was AWS Cloud Practitioner Essentials and Exam Preparation course. Regarding the study schedule, it was of 24 hours, which I distributed into 18 hours for the course materials and 6 hours for hands-on. For practice exams, I skimmed through some GitHub repositories as well as some YouTube videos, right? And to be honest, I didn't finish even a couple of mocks in its entirety. I just gone through 15, 20 questions and then I understood the gist of it as to what the exam is expecting. So the major challenge, which I would say, is a lot of services to be memorized, right? And overcome this challenge, I would only suggest to revise, do a revision as many times as you can, right? As you can see, my notes, which I simply downloaded from AWS portal. And what I did was I downloaded all the transcripts from my Coursera courses, and I went through all that transcripts word by word, did some note taking, and then I revised it again and again so that it sticks to my mind. And coming to topics I covered, there were a vast ocean of topics, right, to start with. But then the course helped me to structure my learning in a very sequential manner, wherein the topics which are highlighted in, let's say, pink color, is the one, let's say, where I could remember the questions were asked in the actual exam. So these are much important sections to me, which helped me in passing this exam. Let's say you start with the basics of Amazon Web Services as to what are the basics of cloud computing, what are its benefits, what is the EC2, what are the instance types, what are the various pricing mechanisms, right? Then when it comes to Amazon global infrastructure, what is region, availability zones, edge locations, right? How AWS cloud formation helps in achieving this whole Amazon global infrastructure, so to say. Then comes the networking part, wherein we deal with basically how the connectivity to AWS works. Concepts of subnets, network ACLs is of very important when it comes to networking. From storage and database services, Amazon DynamoDB, Redshift, EBS and RDS were some of the services from where the questions were asked. Security, in the security section, the much important model is the shared responsibility model, wherein you have to understand what the responsibility matrix are when it comes to AWS as well as when it comes to consumer of AWS services. Then there are some compliance related topics, user permissions and access, right? Then it comes to monitoring and analytics. In this, I would say AWS Trusted Advisor was the section where a lot of emphasis was given in the exam. And from pricing and support perspective, the concept of consolidated billing, AWS budgets, AWS marketplace. These were some of the areas where pricing and support questions were asked. And from migration perspective, I would say AWS Snow family as a topic as a whole is very important. And at the last, AWS well architected framework. What does it mean? What's the importance of it, and how this architecture fits into the whole AWS? So once the theory section was done, I went to do some hands-on, wherein I tried to explore some four or five services from AWS, be it AWS Management Console as to how it looks, right? Which screen is shown to you when you first log into AWS Management Console. Then identity and access management, how it works, what actions should you do the moment you get a root user access, right? Then the Amazon EC2 instance, creation of an EC2 instance, what factors do you take into account when you create an Amazon EC2 instance, what are the different instance types, how pricing is varying from each instance types models. Then comes Amazon S3, right? The cloud object storage service from Amazon. So these were four of the hands-on exercises which I did from the course itself. And it was enough, I guess, to give me an exposure as to what is expected of from this AWS exam. Now coming to the exam experience, I scheduled my exam at 9 a.m. Because the morning shift gives you a fresh perspective and you are relaxed also to get a fresh look at the exam, right? And from the questions were all along the lines of my preparation materials only. There were many conceptual questions based on real life scenarios, like which AWS pricing price is applicable for which scenario. Many straightforward questions were also there based on AWS services. And in those straightforward questions, you cannot guess as to what the answer should be. Either you know or you don't. So better get hold of those key AWS services. And the challenge, which could have been disastrous in my case, was while I was giving my exam, in the midway, I get a pop up saying that your video is not stable. Relaunch the exam. And fortunately, I had attempted all the questions at that time and I was in the process of reviewing them. But when I relaunched the exam, it said the exam has already been attempted or completed. I tried to reach out to the support, then they said, no, the exam is already submitted, we can't do anything much. So I was a bit nervous as to what the outcome would have been. Fortunately, it landed in my favor because I had attempted all the questions well be in advance of time. And for advice to future exam takers, I can only emphasize much on Revise, revise, revise. Read the questions carefully as the keywords are very crucial. Finish as early as possible while giving online proctored exam. You never know when the technological errors might ruin your attempts, right? And then nothing much. Sit back and relax. If you have done your due diligence, you will be in a very comfortable position. So that was all. And to end it, I would only quote one of the quotes from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who said, "Confidence and hard work are the best medicine to kill the disease called failure. It will make you a successful person." So be confident in your preparation, do your hard work, and the results will be in your favor. So that's all. Thank you for listening to this small attempt of mine to give you a grasp of what the exam entails and what this examination is all about. And as I said, this is the first ladder in my journey for a cloud architect role. So let's see, I will keep you posted and stay tuned to my YouTube channel. It's new adventure, and I would like to hear your feedbacks as to where I can improve, what are the areas I could have done better, so that I will incorporate them in my upcoming videos. And thanks to listening. Have a nice day.